Alright, somebody please tell me just what the fuck I just watched this tonight. I mean, this was absolute fucking garbage. Welcome everyone to your Monday Night Raw review for December 28th, 2015. I do apologize, last week I did not come out with my Raw review for last week, but as we all know, there was nothing going on there except fucking rigged WWE Slammy Awards as usual. Last year's Slammy Awards were pretty much rigged, especially Roman Reigns winning Superstar of the Year. That was a load of bullshit, as well as this year's. Worst fucking Slammy Awards thing that happened last week. That thing definitely displayed that it was rigged, was the Usos winning the Tag Team Division Award, which we all know was a fucking load of crap. Most of their time spent was on the injured reserves, and the New Day should have won that. They've been carrying the tag team division throughout the entire year of 2015. Anyway, moving on with things and getting things started with this fucking piece of shit. Monday Night Raw started off with Vince McMahon coming out in the arena in Brooklyn, New York, at the Barclays Center. Goes ahead, pretty much stresses his thoughts on Roman Reigns and questions how long does he believe that Roman Reigns will remain WWE Champion. Well, this segment here was very funny. It was very much like they were trying to make Roman Reigns look like a Stone Cold Steve Austin, where they fucked up with this, and I'll explain why in a few moments. They go ahead and have Roman Reigns look like he shoved Vince McMahon, even though it didn't even look like a shove, and he fell to the ground. Then he falls to the ground after that and complains that his neck was bothering him, basically injured or something like that, that he injured his neck or some bullshit, faking an injury, and having Stephanie McMahon drag the police to come out to check on him and also possibly arrest Roman Reigns for the situation. We all know this was fucking fake as shit, did not even look realistic. The acting and the dialogue was completely idiotic. A very watered down version of Stone Cold Steve Austin and Vince McMahon. This cannot be reproduced. You cannot reproduce Vince McMahon and Stone Cold Steve Austin all over again with a new person facing Vince McMahon. It just is not going to work. It's not believable. It's not genuine. It's not realistic. I mean, the only guy that could blend in, and it would be a PG version of the Stone Cold versus Vince McMahon, would either be Dean Ambrose or Daniel Bryan. That's all you could go with this. Roman Reigns, you cannot go with. Roman Reigns is more of a guy, he's a muscular dude. He looks like a guy that would be better fit as a heel, and has been reiterated 1,000 times that Roman Reigns should be a heel, and he's not, and he won't. Because Vince McMahon is fucking stubborn and old as fuck. And it definitely displays it after I get to the end of this show. So, from there, I mean, Vince McMahon goes ahead, gets pissed off at the police being mad at Vince McMahon's daughter for opening up her mouth and voicing her opinion about how they are treating her father, and that they should arrest Roman Reigns for his action, and blah 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 blah, run on bullshit. But it was pretty funny segment, I can't deny that. But the dialogue, it was just so unoriginal. It wasn't genuine. It wasn't realistic. It felt so fucking dumb. But it was funny as hell to watch Vince McMahon make an ass out of himself. That's about the only thing you can get out of this that was at all really entertaining whatsoever. But other than that, there was nothing great about this segment. So he goes ahead, as I said, he was going ahead and he got pissed off at the police officer for telling his daughter to shut up. He grabbed him by mistake because he lost his temper, and he got arrested. They didn't read his Miranda rights. They did halfway through and then said, you know the rest, and we're arresting you. They're like, what the fuck? Come on, man. You're making it way too obvious that these aren't real cops. Even though, as, you know, people that have brains in their heads, but kids wouldn't understand it. But, I mean, still, make it realistic. If you're going to go through with doing something so stupid where Vince McMahon loses his temper and he grabs a police officer and he's getting arrested for putting his hands on a police officer, stick to the realistic version of what would really happen. I mean, come on, what the fuck's wrong with you? So moving on with all that, I mean, you get that match, I mean, that whole segment ends. It was funny regardless. Vince McMahon, during the commercial break, tries to resist arrest and tries to find out where his daughter is because he couldn't see her or whatever while she followed him all the way out to the police car. They forced him inside the car and so forth. It was okay right there in that segment. It looked pretty believable. But the rest of it was just fucking idiotic. But still very funny because of how stupid Vince McMahon was making himself look. Once again, Vince McMahon's a fucking retard who he's out of touch with entertaining audiences these days. And he just needs to hang it up. That's all that needs to be said. First match on the card, Kevin Owens versus Neville. Why have this match? What is the purpose? What's the rhyme and reasoning behind it? Number one. Number two, both of these guys are on losing streaks. Kevin Owens has still yet to pick up a winning streak. He's gotten one win out of 3 matches since he's lost the title. Get the fuck out of here with this bullshit. Neville beats him. And Neville hasn't been doing all that great, but he picks up a victory and he walks away victorious. End of story with that. Less than a minute, this match ends. Why? What the fuck is the point of this shit? Kevin Owens loses his temper because he lost the match, and he beats the shit out of Neville, and then Dean Ambrose comes down, tries to save the day. He gets a little bit of an advantage, and Kevin Owens runs away like a bitch. Oh, whoop-de-doo. We also get an announcement. The Rock is making an appearance at WrestleMania 32. What the fuck is this going to do to help WrestleMania 32 be a success? He's not actually competing in a match, so who gives a crap? He's making an appearance. Whoop-de-doo. You could have just done what you did at WrestleMania 30. Make it a surprise. Who cares? Shit, man. What a bunch of fucking idiots. We get a match with Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch. Don't give a fuck about this. They're two very talented wrestlers, but me feeling the way I feel about how the women's division is in the main roster, I just skipped out on watching this. I watched the Broncos and Bengals game, and that was it on that. So I didn't even watch this. The match went on pretty long, and Sasha Banks picked up the victory with a roll-up pin by grabbing the tights. And a very, based on some of the highlights I saw, it was okay. But not something I would feel necessarily need to watch the entire match from beginning to end. From there, we had a match. The New Day comes out. They make goofballs of themselves. Same run-on charade bullshit. Thankfully, we didn't get so much of exposure of them thrown on the show this week. On Monday Night Raw, so that's a bit of an improvement. Then we also, their segment goes on for about almost 5 to 10 minutes almost. Who the fuck knows how long it was. It was a complete waste of time anyway. They're goofing off with the audience and that's it. Kofi Kingston faces Kalisto in a one-on-one match. Kalisto picks up the victory, and that's the end of that. They try to interfere. Sin Cara makes an announcement that he's going to go ahead and have a match with Xavier Woods, and then Xavier Woods makes a goof out of himself and says payback's a big E. Okay, so We get Big E versus Sin Cara in a one-on-one match after we come back from commercial break. The match ends. Big E wins. They try to sell an injury on Sin Cara's left shoulder. It could be believable. It could be just, a storyline injury just to make the match more intriguing. And that was it. One segment that I have to say I only wish did not exist, and this segment should have never happened on this show. Complete waste of fucking time. I mean, there was plenty of wasted opportunity in this 3-hour show, but this one, my God, really had to go, because this was just fucking utterly ridiculous. I'm sitting there staring at my screen going, why are they showing us this bullshit? What the fuck are they gaining out of this? There's no build-up going to the Royal Rumble. Nothing happens. I mean, you get The Miz TV talking about his whole 2015 saga that happened for him throughout the entire 2015 year. Like, who the fuck cares what you did throughout 2016, which, by the way, was nothing big or exciting. It was just complete garbage and a waste of everybody's time. So Big E makes this announcement. He comes out. He tries to do all that, and one after another. First, Ryback. Ryback says he's always a hungry guy, but he just can get so filled up and full of and sick and tired of Mrs. TV segments that he could puke, possibly, is the way he was coming across about it. Then you had Goldust coming out saying, oh, you want to win a Golden Globe Award, Oscar nomination, or Oscar Award, whatever. This was just complete fucking idiotic. I mean, you get fucking R-Truth coming out trying to do it was a one-hit wonder type of success comedy gimmick role that R-Truth did during the Money in the Bank thing, and he comes out pretending that he doesn't remember the Slammies were last week, and he says, oh, well, every WWE superstar is going to be on the Superstar of the Year ballot, so don't forget to vote for me. And then and Miz is like, you do realize that was last week, and you won an award for Laugh Out Loud, right? Like, what the fuck is this? Like, who the hell cares? I mean, the audience was popping. They were getting rowdy and crazy in some portions of the show, especially the first hour. They were crazy. Very into the show. But after that, it was just downhill from there. There was nothing gratifying about this show. This was just fucking idiotic. We also had segments with Vincent McMahon fucking coming about Vincent McMahon being bailed out of jail. They got this goofy fucking lame-o mugshot, which in reality, if they have a mugshot, they have one of those things that measures your height behind you. They don't have that in the segment, in that portion of that photo. It's a fucking gray wall. Come on, man. Get real. Get hip. Get with reality. You want to do a segment like that? Fucking have a real... Try to make it as authentic as you possibly can. What the fuck, are you kidding? Get out of here. During that segment, though, with the Miz TV, Big Show finally came out. I mean, I'll tell you what. I don't like the Big Show whatsoever in the last several years, but for him to just show up and destroy that entire segment was a blessing in disguise, truthfully. I was very happy he knocked everyone the fuck out. And then he also had... R-Truth did something, though, very funny. He knocked himself out. That was pretty humorous. I gotta give him credit on that. He didn't want to get knocked out, so he pretended to knock himself out and got chokeslammed anyway. Then he knocks out Ryback out of the ring, clotheslines him. He's looking there standing tall, and he announces he's going to be in the Royal Rumble match. Holy fucking shit. Something that deals with the Royal Rumble? Gee, I didn't know that that's what we were going to set up for. The Royal Rumble. The one that gives you the ticket to the big show. Give me a fucking break already with this crap. I really watch the show to bash it at this point. I would love to be able to come on here and do these videos where I make, very nice compliments and positive reviews on it, but I can't. If it wasn't for YouTube and me doing these videos, I think by now I'd probably stop watching WWE. But because it gives me something to rant about and rave, and give me something to complain about, and I have a way of doing that, I will continue to watch these shitty fucking shows. Otherwise, I just stick with the WWE Network and watch the fucking Monday Night Raws from the old days when Stone Cold Steve Austin used to call Vince McMahon a fucking scaredy bitch. Or something like that, of that nature. Seeing him stun him with Vince McMahon with no coordination whatsoever, but who gives a shit? I was just watching before Monday Night Raw came on the air. I was watching the Monday Night Raw of March 30th, 1998. The day after WrestleMania 14, when the Austin era had begun. And I have to tell you, that episode is more entertaining than this 3-hour piece of shit. But I'm not going to do a review on that because that's not part of this review of the Monday Night Raw December 28th, 2015 episode. But anyway, before I run out of battery on my camera here so that I can complete this, we then get a match for some fucked up reason after the Big Show kicked Ryback out of the ring, showed dominance. He goes ahead and is set up after a commercial break to face Ryback anyway. The match lasts no longer than 5 minutes, and Ryback wins because Big Show decides to walk out. Real big tough guy, yeah, alright, sure. You're gonna win the Royal Rumble, alright, and my dick's gonna grow 10 inches long and I'll be able to do porno videos. Anyway, Jimmy Uso, Jey Uso, and Dean Ambrose versus Barrett, Sheamus, and Rusev in a 6-man tag team match. Nothing extraordinarily entertaining happened here. Sheamus walked away with the victory by bro-kicking one of the Uso brothers for the 1-2-3. And Dean Ambrose sat outside the ring, disappointed and upset with his team losing the match. As he would, and then Kevin Owens came out of nowhere, shoved him into the ring steps, and then powerbombed him straight to hell through the announce table with a very nice spot there. I kind of enjoyed watching that, so that was pretty cool. Just to show that he had somewhat of balls to be able to show up and get revenge. Renee Young outside the police station, who gives a fuck. And then after that, we had John Cena making his way to the ring, having a decent segment, good promo. His promos have gotten a hell of a lot better over the last few years. He was extremely entertaining. He pretty much tricked Del Rio into defending his U.S. title, but to no avail. The title remains around Del Rio's waist, because they decided that it would be okay to give us a 20 to 30 minute match where there's no fucking ending. A disqualification by the League of Losers, as JD from New York 206 would put it, and I totally agree with that, would say, and I have to agree with him, they are a League of Losers. They are the cream of the crap. They suck. And this whole fucking match blowed. What a fucking pathetic way to bring in the very first match and debut of John Cena back on WWE TV programming. What a fucking way to do it. He has a decent match with Del Rio. The match wasn't too bad. And instead of having an ending, they have a disqualification. Hell, I wouldn't even be upset if Del Rio would have won the match, regardless. Whoever won, I would have been fine with. The match was good. and they just don't have an ending. Then after that, the League of Losers and the League of Nations, whatever the fuck you want to call them, if you want to make fun of League of Losers or League of Nations, I won't say League of Losers, because JD was the one that started that, so I'm not going to rip them off. But League of Nations, they go, I'll say they're the League of Garbage. There you go. The League of Garbage decide to come down to the ring. Oh, well, they were already down at the ring, and they beat the shit out of fucking John Cena. He gets the bro kick from Sheamus, and then Roman Reigns decides to finally show up, and the Usos show up. That, to no avail, the Usos just get their asses kicked anyway, while they're all banged up to shit. And then Roman Reigns looks like $1,000,000, comes down to the ring, spears fucking Rusev, Superman punches fucking Del Rio, and then also super punches fucking, what's his name, Sheamus, or whatever. I don't know who else he attacked. Who the fuck cares? It doesn't really matter. Superman punches Sheamus while he's trying to swing the chair at him, and he gets and he knocks Sheamus down. And that's the end of that. He hits Sheamus with the chair as well, knocks him out of the ring. And then all of a sudden, Vince McMahon shows up after he was getting this soap paparazzi type of segment where they have a small group of people. Like, he's unimportant. They wanted to make him look like he was this, like, one of those celebrities coming out of jail, but generally, a celebrity, when they come out of jail, has a humongous paparazzi following them around, taking pictures, trying to ask questions, trying to get answers, and all kinds of shit. And he's just got a small, tiny crowd like he's completely unimportant. Yet, he's saying at the same time he's very fucking important and he's a freaking billionaire. Get the hell out of here. Anyway, he comes back to the arena, announces that Roman Reigns will be defending the WWE Championship against Sheamus one-on-one next week on Monday Night Raw. And then after he announces that, he puts himself as a special guest referee, and that's our match for next week. Vince McMahon, referee, Sheamus, and Roman Reigns for the WWE World Heavyweight title. And then for the ending portion of his dialogue, he says, Happy New Year, Happy fucking blow this, Vince. Blow it. You fucking dumbass. You waste everybody's time, 3 hours every freaking Monday Night Raw, wasting it when you had good opportunity to make something out of this fucking show and you make it into complete utter garbage. Why do you do this to your audience? For what reason? Do you really want to go out of business? Why don't you just close up shop or sell the fucking damn company? Get the hell out of here. You're a fucking dumbass who has a lot of opportunity in this show to make it something worth watching, and you blew it every single time. Starting things off, number one, Roman Reigns should have fucking speared your ass and gotten arrested. That's what should have happened. Your ass should have been speared on the fucking mat. What I would have had Roman Reigns say is, okay, you want to pretend you're hurt? I'll freaking hurt you. And then he should have speared your fucking ass and got arrested and smiled and walked off while he was in handcuffs. That's what should have happened. That's number one. That would have intensified the rivalry. Number two, because there was no interaction between Roman Reigns and Vince McMahon for him to be, getting mad outside of he was embarrassed by the Brooklyn police. Okay? Two, make a little bit of authentic realism to your shit. If you're gonna get your character arrested, at least have a fucking authentic mugshot. Not make it look so fucking noticeable that it's fake, that it's pathetic, and it doesn't even look legit. Try to make it as legit as you possibly can. Number three, John, at the end of your show, you're screaming Happy New Year over and over and over again for about almost 2 fucking minutes straight. Who the hell wants to hear you say Happy New Year and after you given us a shitty fucking ending to a good, decent match. I mean, get the hell out of here. Wasted segment for 15 minutes with The Miz. Who cares about that shit? I mean, come on. Wasted after wasted opportunity after wasted opportunity of wasted time. Who gives a shit? You're giving people no reason to care. You made yourself more important on this show than you did for Roman Reigns, and you want to help Roman Reigns to become something. Get the fuck out of here. You're full of shit, and you made it all about you instead of being about Roman Reigns and trying to help build him into either a badass or a heel or something, and instead you did nothing. You did it the right way with Austin. You're trying to make him into the new Stone Cold Steve Austin, you're already failing immediately before you start. Anyway, at this time, leave your comments and opinions down below. What do you think they should have done to help make this show a little bit better? I sure as hell think that there's a million different ways they could have made this show better, but I don't want to sit here all day and talk about it, because I'd probably bore the living shit out of all of y'all, but besides the fact I probably would bore myself. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to smack it down on the subscribe button, and have a nice night, guys.